Okay, so we're switching to cricket for the final time this week. West Indies start their T20 series against South Africa on Saturday with the first match at Centurion. The Windies have so far won only one game of the tour, being whitewashed in the Test series and the one-day international series finishing at 1-1. Let's now hear from the Windies T20 captain, Robman Powell.
I think we are very, very prepared. You know, the guys are in very good space. You know, we have a training session today. We spent some time over the last few days, you know, just trying to get things right. You know, so from that standpoint, I think the guys are in a very good space. Guys that have been on the world tour, it's important for them to feed us with information, you know, guys who haven't been on the world tour, you know, so it's now for us, the guys who have been here for the shorter period, just to adjust and try to adjust fast. You know, it's good that the conditions here aren't a lot different from the Caribbean. The wickets are generally good for cricket, you know, so hopefully we can bring our skills to all three games. I think it's for guys to get more familiar with international cricket. You know, international cricket in itself is a lot of pressure. You know, not a lot of the guys have played a lot of international cricket. So I think once the year goes by and guys start playing more international cricket, start getting familiar with their role playing for West Indies, and then, you know, hopefully we'll get better performances from the guys. You know, I am in the group, so I can tell you that guys are working hard. Guys are trying to change the perception that West Indies isn't the best international team at the moment. You know, the guys are doing a lot of work. So hopefully this series can be the start of people realizing that West Indies cricket is slowly but surely getting back to where it truly belongs.
Yeah, Robman Powell there, the new West Indies T20 captain, had to shrug off a couple of questions today from the media about the IPL. I thought he did well. He never addressed any of those questions. He's saying that he's focused right now on the T20 series for the West Indies. And when the series is over, then he'll start talking about the IPL, because a couple of the reporters, Mariah and Ricardo, wanted to get some comments from him today about the upcoming IPL.
Well, you know, I was very impressed. You heard me talking to myself saying, great answer, because as a new West Indies T20 captain, you need to ensure that, of course, you know, your mind is on the task at hand. And as Robman Powell, you know, spoke today, you can tell that, of course, and knowing the type of player and person that he is, you know, he wants to achieve success with this West Indies T20 team. And I think, you know, I'm looking forward to see how he goes about leading the team that he's been given to work with. And of course, you know, he spoke about them being mentally ready, you know, putting in the work physically. What I will say is it's a new role for him. So we're going to have to monitor him and how he goes about his business, because we all know it's one thing to achieve success in club cricket, CPL and whatnot. But whenever you put on the Windies colours, you're judged very, very hard. So I'm wishing him all the best, and I'm hoping that, you know, we can start getting some wins. We can start seeing improvements to get back to winning.
Tough series here, Ricardo, for the West Indies, because the South Africa T20 roster is a pretty solid one. Probably on the face of it stronger than the ODI team that they put out. So the West Indies are up against it here.
Yeah, they definitely are up against it. There's no doubt about it. You're playing in South Africa. It doesn't matter the format. They have decent teams right across, especially when you're comparing them to the West Indies. What I'm looking forward to, though, a few things. One, Robman Powell, how he performs as captain, because I think that's important. You saw from Shea Hope in the one-day international setup how well he was able to play, especially in that, well, second one-day international, the first one that was completed, getting a century, leading from the front. I'm looking for a similar thing from Robman Powell. Didn't have a bad 2022, averaged just over 30 with a bat, had a century, had a couple of half centuries. He should be doing more, if you ask me. And if the West Indies T20 team is to go forward and have better results more consistently, he is going to be a key part of that. So I'm looking to see how he handles the pressure of being West Indies captain. If you look at his record, he's handled the pressure of being captain of other teams very well. So we're talking about franchise teams now, like the Jamaica Tallawahs or the 50 over team or wherever else he's captained. Can he bring that into the international fold as well and handle the pressure in a similar way? Having said that, there is him, but there are other players around him that need to step up. I've been hinting at this for a little while, but I'll just come out and say, no, Nicholas Perrin. Spoke about him in the one-day international setup and how important it was for him to support Shea Hope as captain. I think it's a similar situation in the T20 setup, that I think Nicholas Perrin is too talented a player to not be giving more than he has given to this point. And he has to start turning that around and coming up with some big performances if the West Indies are to consistently win T20 international matches.
Yeah, and speaking about big performances and being consistent, I also expect to see Brandon King transfer what we saw from him in the ODI, the 72 of 72 balls. I expect to see him, continue on that form where T20 cricket is concerned. I expect him to get big scores. Alzari Joseph, another player, of course, has been brilliant with the ball for the team. So I'm just hoping that the players that have stood out in the 50-over format and that are a part of the T20 team can continue on that run of form and, of course, ensure that we play as a team, because that has always been the issue. Whenever we lose matches, it's because maybe the batting clicked and the bowling didn't. Sometimes the bowling clicked, vice versa. But we want to see them play as a unit, play as a team, as if they want to fight.
Yeah, always a tough job captaining the West Indies team, no matter what the format is, certainly in the past few decades, because of the lack of success of the team. Carlos Brathwaite, Kyron Pollard, Nicholas Pooran, some of the recent captains found it difficult with the white ball to lead this team. Let's hope Rovman Powell can get some success and stay on as the captain. Day 3 in the meantime of the 4th round in the West Indies First Class Championship ended just about an hour ago. Let's check in on those scores now from those 3 matches, 2 of them being played in TNT and the other in Guyana. Port of Spain, Queen's Park Oval, TNT 203, and in their second innings, 185 all out. Chime holder 4 for 63. Barbados with a pretty strong first innings advantage, 271 all out, and in their second innings, 52 for 2. Barbados Pride just needing 66 to win. So TNT Red Force continuing to struggle, winless in the season so far, and heading for another defeat here, we think. That match at Queen's Park Oval, now at the Brian Lara Cricket Academy. This is the battle between 2nd and 3rd in the table at the moment. The Leewards Hurricanes in their first innings, 382 for 9 declared. Kofi James 107, Sherman Lewis 3 for 76. The Windwards reply, 353 all out. Kavim Hodge 137. Alec Athanase also got 100. Athanas got 100 as well, 128 against Jeremiah Lewis 4 for 46. The Leewards Hurricanes in their second innings, 99 for 5. Monson Hodge 45. Preston McSween has so far picked up 2 for 26, the left-arm pacer. And at the Guyana National Stadium in Providence, the Guyana Harpy Eagles 278 all out and a 294 for 7 declared. Jamaica Scorpions 115 all out, and in their second innings, 176 for 1. Can you believe that Jamaica batting performance? By far their best so far in the series, trying to avoid a defeat here. They need 282 to win, more runs to win, and at 176 for 1, I guess you can say they're in the hunt. But Niall Smith with 5 for 22 in the first innings, setting up the Guyana Harpy Eagles here in a strong position. Tevin Imlach getting 136, not out, to back up his captain's first innings 100 as well. So pretty tight going here in this match here, Ricardo and Mariah. The Jamaicans, who have been poor all season, 176 for 1 at stumps here on day 3. A bit of a surprise given what they have offered with the bat so far this season. Yeah, it didn't work in the first innings, but here is what can happen when you have quality players, test players, coming back into your regional fold. So you have Jermaine Blackwood, who is now batting with Tevin Gilsey, and Blackwood not out on 66. And he's in a position to help a young player like Gilsey through the innings, and Gilsey producing his highest score of the tournament so far. This is also a crucial innings, Lance, for Nkrumah Bonner, who I suspect will bat 4, worst case scenario number 5. It is a crucial innings for him. Dropped
from the West Indies team to go to South Africa. It was said that he needed more cricket. Here's his opportunity to step up and say to the selectors that I'm still around. Because if he doesn't, it could be the end of the road for Nkrumah Bonner. Athanas has made another century.
Yes.
On return, 100. This is a youngster who clearly the selectors are looking at and saying, this is someone we want in the West Indies setup. And if Bonner is unable to get some big runs in this second innings, I don't know what's going to happen with him going forward, but he needs to do something now.
Yeah, and Athanas had some big scores in the Super 50 last season as well. So following that up with the batting performances we've seen so far in the first class season from this young Dominican, a lot of eyes on Alec Athanas, and we think he's a pretty special batsman as well. Let's hope he can transition into international cricket and make some worthy contribution here to the West Indies team.
I'm a big fan of Athanas, by the way. I think he has so much quality. He is such a delight to watch, a really sweet stroke player of the cricket ball. And so I would love nothing more than to see him in the West Indies setup. But from an Nkrumah Bonner standpoint, boy, you better get some runs tomorrow.
Yeah, let's take a quick break. We'll be back.